But right now, while we're talking football, I'd like to introduce two very special guests. Robbie Bowers, who's the head athletic director at Rancho Bernardo High School, along with Christina Scher, the head athletic trainer at Westview. But for the purpose of this conversation, your bigger title is the Region 6 Director of CATA, the California Athletic Trainers Association. Correct? All right, so welcome to KUSI.
Thank you.
You both are certified, correct? Is that
correct? Yes.
What's the difference between being a certified trainer and not being a certified trainer?
Well, we've gone through a rigorous and extensive clinical and educational background that allows us the opportunity to study, practice, and then demonstrate our competency through a board certification exam.
And how many certified for, say there's, let's say 100 schools in the county, how many have certified trainers?
In the county?
Yeah. Let's just use that for example.
I would say probably about 80% for San Diego County,
so
maybe 90%.
But California is the only state where it's not required?
You're not required to be certified.
And how did that slip through the loopholes? Unknown.
Good question.
Well, all right, so it brings us to a bill that's very close to dear to your heart, AB 1510. Explain to the folks what that is.
It is an athletic trainer practice licensure bill that is being introduced by Matt DeBobney again in January to the Assembly, and it is to ensure that if you are working in the state of California as an athletic trainer that you are certified, just like the requirement in all the other 49 states.
I'm guessing you support it.
Indeed.
Who doesn't support it?
Well, the last time we brought the bill through, it went through both the House Assembly and the Senate uncontested and got to the governor's desk, and he just had some misunderstandings, we believe, where education can bring him back up to speed. But most people we talk to think that we're already licensed because of the special medical care that we provide.
So, you know, you go to a game and you'll sometimes see a kid carrying, the trainer is carrying a roll of tape and a bottle of water, and that's the team trainer, which for most occasions is okay, but when there's a serious injury, I guess that's where the difference between a certified trainer and an uncertified trainer rears its head?
Well, as mentioned earlier, that all coaches are first aid and CPR trained. Where our scope of practice is in the emergency care of those athletes, the assessment and evaluation of those injuries, concussions, spine injuries, neck injuries, and being current and up to date in the standard of care and the protocols is what we are required to do as certified athletic trainers.
I can think of two NFL situations where what Christina's talking about, just in recent. Teddy Bridgewater, who had a catastrophic leg injury in practice for the Vikings, and then Zach Miller had a catastrophic leg injury playing on with the Bears. They say, if not for the first responders, the team trainers, both those athletes could have lost their legs. Is that what we're talking about being certified?
Well, absolutely. The recognition of the emergent situation right there and the rapid referral when necessary is one of the keys to a well-trained, educated, certified athletic trainer, and somebody that's got years of on-the-job training. And some of the times it's not necessarily knowing what to do, it's every bit as much knowing what not to do and when that next level of care is required, making that appropriate, rapid referral.
It's ironic that you two are together because I'm going to take you back to January 20th. It's not just the athletes that are on the playing surface. It's sometimes the fans in the stands. If not for you two, there's a man who would not be with us today. Could you tell us about what's going on here at Rancho Bernardo High School?
It was a basketball game. It was torrential weather outside, so we canceled our soccer match between Rancho Bernardo and Westview. So we both went up into the basketball arena to watch the basketball game between our two schools. And the Westview coach's grandfather had a cardiac emergency in the stands.
Bill Parkhurst.
Correct.
You know him?
Yes.
Do you know him now, obviously, because he saved his life. So that's another reason to have as many medically trained people around as possible, right? Can you talk about that day a little bit? How scared were you?
With us, our training, you're not scared. You just go into automatic mode. You know what to do. You're up to speed on your protocols. Emergency action plans are practiced and well rehearsed, which Robbie and his team did at Rancho Bernardo earlier that day. So it runs like a well-oiled machine in the event that there is a crisis like there was, and then we have a more positive outcome like we did. So.
That's got to be a great feeling when you save a life.
Indeed. And to that point, again, the situation, talking about emergency action plans and being prepared for situations where we have 60% of the high schools in California that don't have a certified athletic trainer. And there was a study where California ranked second to last in preparedness for emergencies throughout the country. And one of the big things was lack of having certified athletic trainers in place with emergency action plans ready to go.
All right, we have about 90 seconds left. I want to get through a couple topics. Concussions, maybe not the emergency situation, but it's seriously affecting high school football. It's affecting football all around. The NFL Network is doing this thing here where the engineering a roadmap to better head protection. It's been my belief, my uneducated opinion, that the helmet, changing the helmet's what's going to save football. Your thoughts about that?
I don't ever think that a helmet is going to prevent a concussion. It's ultimately designed to prevent skull fractures. I think what we need to look at is it's not just football that's suffering from head injuries or concussions. We have soccer, hockey, all these other sports that have the same risk. I think that what we need to look at is technique and how are these being evaluated and assessed.
Because there's no denying that the injury concerns are affecting football numbers throughout the county.
Absolutely, throughout the country.
So, are we being alarmist here? Are we hurting the sport by fanning the flames even more, or are we eventually going to save the sport?
I think proactively, anything that makes you think and reevaluate and move ahead with a better mousetrap is the way to save the sport. And it's not saving the sport, it's saving communities and young kids and opportunities to grow and develop leadership. That's what sports does.
I know some coaches are concerned that you can over-regulate things, and then, like some people think that less contact during the week is making for more injury-related contact during the game. Your thoughts about over-regulation? Is that possible?
Not the way I see it. When it comes to head injuries in sport, and you talk about football, I think that education is going to be the most important thing. And again, recognizing and treating when it is a concussion versus ignoring those signs and symptoms, and then it becomes a more severe tragic case. And
all right, Robbie, you get the last word.
Right.
Moms and dads that are watching this, what should they do about AB 1510?
Well, first of all, for the sake of their children, speak to their administrators. Find out who is in charge of our child at your school, and then contact your assembly person and your senators and let them know how you feel about this and support.
How cool of you guys on a holiday week to make the effort to come in for me like this. I really appreciate it.